Hi FlossTube, my name is Robin. Thank you for coming and visiting me on my channel, Lady Robins. This is a channel about cross-stitching. This is a FlossTube channel. I am happy that you're here. Welcome to my subscribers. I am thrilled to have you back. And if you have just stumbled across me, thank you for stopping in and taking a peek. Leave me a comment, like and subscribe, share me with your friends, do all those things that you normally do. Today is Tuesday, it's the 28th of April, and this is my FlossTube number 30. I am glad that it's the afternoon. I have finished up my telecommuting. I am one of those workers that is under a stay-at-home order until the governor of our state says otherwise. So 5 hours of telecommuting has happened, and now I can do my own thing for a little bit. I have lots of stitching to show you. I got some good progress in. I have 2 new starts. I have some FFOs to show you. I am thrilled to be sitting here with my mug of the week. We're in Denver today. My beverage, I got root beer. Normally I put coffee in my mugs. Today I wanted a carbonated beverage and I thought, give root beer a try. There's usually root beer out in our garage. My husband loves the stuff and I usually don't drink it. And today I thought, I'm gonna give that a whirl. I can see why he likes it. It is very sweet and it's very yummy and it makes me want to dump ice cream in it. I want a root beer float. During my lunch break today, I took the dog out for a walk, and I don't know about you, but have you noticed all of the flowers blooming in your area? Boy, rhodies and azaleas. My neighbor, I'm peeking over my camera, she has a red dogwood tree that is blooming. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I grabbed my phone when I left with the dog and I took some photos of all of the flowers that I saw on my walk. And I'm going to try to edit those in so you can see what my walk looks like. And I also took a little video of my neighbors, or the side yard that I look at when I'm videoing. And I'm hoping I can insert that as well, because my neighbor's yard with the azaleas, the dogwood, and the plum tree, it is really, really pretty. So I'm going to try my hand at a little editing. Hopefully that will stick. Last time I tried editing, I sat next to my husband. He showed me all sorts of things to do in iMovies on my iPad, and I had it exactly the way I wanted it. I uploaded it to my laptop and all of the editing disappeared. So I'm going to try something different. I'm still going to put all my content on my iPad and do the editing so I don't have to bug my husband to make him show me stuff. He's very patient with me because I usually have to be showed 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times when it comes to technology. He is so tech savvy, it's amazing. But anyway, I'm hoping that I won't have to bug him, that I'll be able to do that. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try sending it to our old Mac Air laptop and see if I can upload it from there, because when I put it on my Windows PC, it stripped all the editing out, and I'm thinking maybe it's a problem because I'm using, you know, Apple products and then putting it on Windows products, and maybe the two don't like each other. So I'm going to try to stay in the same universe. I'm going to try to stay all in the Apple universe, and we'll see what happens. I might have just rambled and told you stuff that isn't going to happen. Hopefully it won't be that bad, but I'm going to give it a whirl. I've got a little time this evening to monkey with technology, so why the heck not, right? All right, what have you guys been up to? I cannot believe Friday is the 1st of May. Do you know what that means? Monday will start Mania for me, because as I've told you, I'm going to do 4 starts, 1 on each Monday in May. So new start on Monday, which will be fun. Maybe I try to I try to do my videos on Monday. This week I ended up having to slide it to Tuesday. I think next week I'll just keep it on Tuesday because I want to show you what I will start for Mania. And I haven't selected which of the 4 pieces I'm gonna start with, so it'll be a surprise to me also. I stitched on, let me see, I think I got 6, maybe it was 6, maybe it was 5. Well, once I go through them, we'll know for sure. I think I got 6 different pieces stitched on this week, which is a lot, but one of them has, you know, less than 50 stitches on it, and I'm not even sure I'm going to keep them. So we'll talk about that when I get there. I'm trying to think what else to ramble on, give you a little life updates. Online school has started. My son is doing online school here, so that's been going well for him. He is very self-sufficient. I am very lucky. I do not have to monitor him. He just jumps on the computer, does his Zoom meetups with his teachers, and does his classes, and I don't have to, you know, bang him with a stick to get him to do his homework. So that's really nice for me, because I think we'd kill each other if I had to monitor him that closely. I have said 100 times, if I had to homeschool him, neither one of us would be living at this point, because we're like oil and water. We just know how to bug each other when it comes to stuff like that. Okay, what did I stitch on? Well, one of the things that I wanted to get to this week was my Playing with Jacks piece. And it's been a while since you guys have probably seen this, so here it is, Playing with Jacks. And let's see, I'm stitching it on 28 count vintage country mocha linen. So let's take a peek. There it is. What I got done is I got this kind of quilty looking area done on this, and then I was going to tear out these kind of light blue stitches. I don't know if those are showing up very well, because they are quarter stitches, and I didn't like the way they were laying on the fabric. And so, oh my gosh, I looked at the back, and you know, I've got threads on top of them, and you know, it's fished underneath stuff, and I thought, I am never going to be able to get those out. So what I decided to do instead, because I didn't really relish the idea of frogging all that stuff out, I went back and I just did another loop over the quarter stitches, so it kind of built it up a little bit. They weren't so far down in the stitching. And then it doesn't say on the pattern to backstitch around those little triangles, but I think I will. And I think if I do that, having built up the stitches a little bit, and then if I do a little back stitching, I think it'll really focus those, so they'll really look like, oh, what is that called in quilting? Shoot, Are they crow's feet? That's not it. I know that's not it. What are they? Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. You can tell I'm not a quilter. I don't know what that is, but it's like crow's feet, duck's feet. I don't know. I don't know what it is. As you can tell, but I think it'll just sharpen up those little triangles, for lack of the appropriate quilting term. I think that will fix what I consider to be kind of my problem on that piece. So I got that worked on finally. So now this will probably show up more in my weekly rotations, because it kind of was in, you know, whip timeout because I didn't quite know what to do. But now that I've made some progress on that, I am feeling much better about that piece. Okay, so what else did I stitch on? I broke out my peppermint purple black work again. And so I jumped down a row and I got 2 blocks done down here. Those pink blocks are what I got stitched this week on this guy. And look at that. Look how cute those are. I just love black work. Who knew? So they're up to, I think I just downloaded it. They're up to week 17. I'm only on week 7. I'm 10 weeks behind, but it's okay. It's gonna get there. And I also, when I was on, I did that. I do that every time, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying. The gal who does the black work Sal, she has created borders because people were asking for borders. So on her website, you can download borders. I've downloaded border number 5. I'll give you a little tiny peek at that. And I'm already thinking about, you know, when I get it completely finished, to hurry up, right? I picked up, let's see if I've got it right here in front of me. I picked up, yep, here it is, a rainbow colored Threadworks thread. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? And so I think I'm gonna do that border in this variegated rainbow thread. And I think, what was this one called? I think this one was called Michael's Balloons or something like that. So anyway, that's my plan for the border. I'm really excited about the variegation on this stuff. I think that will be, you know, don't you think that'll be a good compliment? Because I am doing the whole thing in a rainbow palette. So here's all of my flosses, if I can get a hold of them, that I've chosen. So each row will be one of these colors, right? And then this, I think, is a pretty good match on just about all of the colors. So I'm kind of excited about the idea of what that border is going to look like once I get everything stitched, and then I get to work on that. Now, some people have already posted in the group their pieces, and they've already done their border, and that seems like a good idea, right? But I'm kind of gonna go the other way. I wanna get the rainbow stitched and then decide if that's really what I'm gonna do, because it might be too much. It might be too much rainbow and rainbow and rainbow, but I won't know that until I get it stitched. So that's my plan, but you know, subject to change, right? Which is always the way it works, right? You can figure something else out halfway through if it's not working for you. And speaking of figuring things out, I was stitching on cardinal points, and I think I flash the cover just about every time, but that's okay because it's so pretty. All right, so there's our cardinal points from Long Dog Samplers, and I was watching FlossTube, which probably comes as no surprise. I love watching FlossTube. I was watching Erin, the Two Martini Stitcher, and she is also working on cardinal points, and she mentioned that 2 of the yellows on cardinal points are super close. And it's really funny that she should say that, because I had just stitched, well, I'll show you on here. I had just stitched these 2, where are they? Here we go. I had just stitched these 2, this one here and this one, right? And they're not the same color. I mean, one's, what is it? One's like dandelion and the other one is gold leaf, or, you know, some darn thing. I can't remember. What is it? Gold leaf. Yep. Gold leaf is one. Oh, sunflower is the other. So this one up here that has a little bit more brown in it, that's the gold leaf, and then this one is the sunflower. But they're not very different, if you know what I mean. They're really close in color. And when I was stitching, I had to go back and look at the pattern and go, no, those are, you know, 2 different colors, but it made me think that I was making a mistake because they're so close in color. And Erin posted on her FlossTube that she was going to switch one of those out so they'd be a little more distinct on the pattern. And now that she said that, I'm thinking I might have to do the same, because they're just not distinct enough. And all of these other colors, like, I mean, look at these blues up here, you guys, right? I mean, these are just yummy, real distinct, vibrant colors. And not that these are awful colors, it's just that I think they're too close. So I need to do a little hunting through my stash and see what I can sub in to make that swap. And then she also mentioned that Helen D had said on her FlossTube, because she's also stitching this cardinal points, that 2 of the reds have the same problem. So before I get to the reds, I'm going to definitely lay my flosses next to each other and see if maybe the dye lot, if there's more color variation, or if maybe the dye lots, you know how over time, you know, your dye lots change a little bit. So I'm wondering if just over time, you know, certain colors have kind of gotten more alike, I guess, for lack of a better word. Yeah, so I've got to sit down with a pattern and see where the reds are so that I don't have to sit down and do some frogging, because I don't want to do frogging. Oh my gosh, you guys, last night I was on a stitching Zoom meetup with some gals, and it was hysterical. I had to frog 3 times in the course of 90 minutes. I finally told them, you guys are too interesting. I can't keep track of where I am. I have to keep frogging. Nice, right? Blame others for your own mistakes, Robin. Not a good trait. But it made me feel better because a couple of the other gals said, yeah, me too. I keep frogging too. So it's nice to know we're all in the same boat in that frogging. So those were my my 3 established whips that I worked on, and then I decided to take a little break from stitching, like I told you, because I had 4 days off this week, which is so nice. And I did FFOing. So, are you ready? The laundry company. I have to do a shout out to Noelle, who is Sheep for Him on Instagram. She sent me all of the stuff to finish the laundry company by Hands On Design. It's perfect. It's perfect, you guys. So, here are my finishes. Look at that. Self-service, loads of fun, the laundry company. That's my first one. The second one, laundry, the never-ending cycle. Ah, so fun. And then the third one, where is it buried? Ah, it's right here. Irony, the opposite of wrinkly. Isn't that amazing, you guys? Doesn't that look fantastic? Ah. All right, I have to tell on myself a little bit. The first one, let's see. I think the first one I did was the laundry, the never-ending cycle. So I cut the mat board. I used Aleene's tacky glue, and I added some batting to my mat board. In fact, let me show you. So this is a piece that I've already got set up for FFOing my Riveris whale piece. So here you can see, here's the mat board, and then this is some, what is it? It's fiber, no, what is it called? Natural, oh, for crying out loud, you guys. It's just some quilt batting, okay? It's like warm and natural. That's what it is. Warm and natural is what I've got there. Okay, so anyway, so I cut my 3 mat boards. I put the Aleene's down. I put the warm and natural on it, like I did here. Let those dry up. Trimmed off the excess, and then I broke out stitchery tape. Kathy Haberman uses this quite a bit, so I use stitchery tape on the back of my mat board. So I just, put a piece along here, and then put my piece over the top, figured out how much of a border I needed, cut that off. Oh my gosh, that was so frightening. Cut it off, and then spent a lot of time measuring and fussing to make sure that my margin all the way around was even. And even, messing around like that, they're not even. The first one, I was so terrified to pull the backing off the stitchery tape. It took me almost 3 hours to complete it. I finally, just had to rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. Folded it around all 4 corners. And then from there, I just had to put in the covered mat board into my frame. And then from there, I've got a little tiny magnet so that it won't, flip and flop. So the first one, from start to finish, it probably took me 3 hours because I just agonized over every step, and I just didn't feel confident. And I've always laced. This is the first time I've used stitchery tape on the linen, on the stitched piece. I mean, even ornaments I've laced. I mean, I'm kind of nuts. So, but I thought, nope, this isn't a sampler, this isn't an heirloom piece. I can just go with stitchery tape. It will be fine. So, first one took me 3 hours. Then, nope, that was the first one I did. Then the second one I did was ironing. This one. And this one, start to finish, took me an hour and a half. Yay! I cut my FFOing time down in half. That was pretty good, right? Then I had, this was the third one that I did, and I thought, I am so tired. I just want to be done with this project. It took me 20 minutes. I'm just like, I'm done. Pull the backing off the tape, slap the stuff down. Yeah, I think the margins are good. And you know what? Of all of them, I think my top and side margins are the best on this particular piece. I think I just got to the point where I'm like, yep, that looks good. I did not break out my little ruler. I just eyeballed it, slapped it down, called it a day, went to bed. But I got all 3 of them FFO'd in basically one day. I mean, it was one long day, but I did it. I got them done. So now I get to hang them in my laundry room. I am so excited to do that. And that's gonna be easy, right? Oh, I just pushed my camera. Sorry, guys. So I have FFOing. Now, the one thing that I haven't done is, remember in my plans, I told you I was gonna FFO the Roveris whale. I'm waffling again, you guys. I've got my mat board all cut out, but when I lay it down here, and I'll just show you really quick what I'm looking at, is when I lay it down here, and I did have to move the charms because they were just all in the wrong place. Okay, so pardon my scrunching and munching up the fabric here. Okay, so this is what it looks like if I wrap it around the mat board, which doesn't look bad, right? I mean, I think it looks pretty good. But now I'm thinking, would it be cuter as a pillow? I'm changing my mind. So, what do you think? I cannot decide. And that's half of the problem is once you commit to something, you know, I mean, I'm gonna have to cut off quite a bit of fabric. I'm not really gonna be able to put it back. So, you know, if I mount it on the mat board, I mean, that's it. You know, we're done. No pillow after that. So, I can't decide. So, I will not have an FFO on this. I think part of what needs to happen for me is I don't know if I mount it on this, right? That's not the end of it. And so I don't have necessarily an item to mount this on next, right? Does that make sense? I don't have like the final finishing thing that I would mount a flat fold onto. So I think that's why I'm having such a hard time making a decision about this. I think if I had a piece that I knew, okay, I'm going to put it on the mat board, and then the mat board will go on, you know, the thing, whatever that is, I would have peace about cutting my fabric. But until I know, you know, what this is going to end up on, I can't decide that, you know, mounting it just on that is enough. Anyway, oh my gosh, sorry. Ramble. But if you have any thoughts on that, if you're like, Robin, just get over it, just do it, leave me a comment. Let me know. It's hard to make that choice when I don't know what the final thing is going to look like. And I think that's why I'm waffling back towards the pillow, because if I just do a pillow, I know what it's going to look like. My only problem with the pillow is I don't really have a good place in my family room, which is all nautical themed, to kind of display it. And so then I thought, well, if I do a pillow, maybe I should, you know, put a little piece of cording or something, and then I can hang it. And then I'm like, well, if I'm going to hang it, well, then I should have it on a frame or a something. See, I can't make the decision yet. So I'm gonna set it aside. Which means that my April 24 hours of acrostic, I got one that I didn't do. FFO the whale. Okay. I'm not mad. It's fine. It'll get FFO'd. I just need some more choices, right? I think that's what I need. I just need, I need to have more options available. Oh, this is my planner. I just love this thing. You know, it's kind of crazy though, because I got nothing to plan right now except cross stitch, and I've got a cross stitch planner, but this is my work / everyday life planner. I'll get back to it once we get back to work and all that good stuff. All right, so I told you that I started 2 pieces this week. And one of them that I started, it is the teeniest, tiniest little start ever. I had told you in my plans that I wanted to do this snowman, because I want to keep stitching ornaments for my tree for next year. And then this is the fabric that the other 3 ornaments in that set are on. My problem is, I don't know. What do you think? Is that too light? I mean, I even changed the white. This was supposed to be stitched in DMC 3865, and I could not see a difference at all. So I switched that out. And so this is the B5200, but even that, I am not 100% sure that even that is enough of a contrast. So what do you think? Leave me a comment. Is that too light, or does that show up enough? I'm having indecision this week. So that was my first start. I did that on the 25th, on Saturday, the 25th of whatever the heck month we're in. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't even know what month it is. Poor Erin. She had posted on Instagram that she was working on her birthday piece. And I was like, oh, is it her birthday? I better tell her happy birthday. So I Instagrammed her and I said, happy birthday. And she was like, thanks, it was last month. Like, I think I knew that. I don't know what month it is. It could be December for all I know. Oh my gosh, that was so ridiculous. But it's really hard to keep track. And then my other confession about not knowing what date it is, I have been dying to sign up for the Stitching Book Club's Secret Garden piece that's coming out. And I can't wait to show you. I got my fabric. I'm ready to stitch it. Anyway, I went to her Etsy shop. I signed up. I got the welcome packet talking about the sale and how it's gonna go and all that good stuff, right? I'm just like, okay, well, she said it's gonna start on May 24th, and today's the 26th. I don't have the pattern, but I don't want to bug her. Maybe she just hasn't queued it up and hasn't been sent out yet, and blah blah blah. And then I'm like, it took me a day and a half to figure out it's not May. It's April. So I have plenty of time to get excited about the Secret Garden Stitching Book Club Sal. I still have a little over a month to wait for that to begin. Yeah, I just was thinking, oh, she just hasn't gotten the, you know, I've gotten the welcome email, but we just haven't gotten the first part of the Sal yet. And oh, geez. Oh, well, that's okay. It's just me. It doesn't matter, right? Okay, now, the the other thing that I started, which I am loving, this last weekend was supposed to be a Jeanette Douglas workshop at Acorns and Threads, which had to be canceled because of coronavirus. Makes a lot of sense, right? So I decided I should break out a Jeanette Douglas piece and start stitching something by Jeanette Douglas. So in my stash, I am part of the Circle of Friends. What is it? A little help from our friends stitching club at the Shepherd's Bush. Not Shepherd's Bush, Shepherd's Needle. I should not make floss tubes when I'm drinking root beer. Apparently I can't speak. Anyway, I decided I'm gonna break out a Jeanette Douglas, and this is what I chose. So I've been stitching on this for 2 days now. And that's my progress, and I am super excited about how cool this is. And, oh my gosh, on my Instagram, I posted that I started this on Sunday night, and Monday I went to my Instagram and it showed, oh, you've got some hearts and you've got some comments, and I clicked into my comments. Fangirl moment. Jeanette Douglas herself. Jeanette Douglas responded to my Instagram post saying she's so excited or happy that I'm stitching that, and she's doing a different one in the series, and we'll stitch them together. I'm like, oh, Jeanette Douglas. Talk about, I mean, it's a good thing that we can't see each other, because I had like a complete fangirl geeky moment. She would have backed up slowly. So I'm so excited. Jeanette Douglas, she spotted me on Instagram. Oh my gosh. That's like royalty spotting you, right? Anyway, I'm having the best time stitching that, and look at the yummy colors that are in this kit. Ugh, it couldn't be better. So that was my Sunday start. I started it pretty late, like 8 p.m. and got an hour or so in on it, and I've been picking it up every day ever since. It's super fun to stitch on. The colors are great. I am so looking forward to doing the couple of specialty stitches down on the bottom. Everything is fantastic on that stitch, let me tell you. Okay, last week I got stitchy mail. I got haul, you guys. I think I rage shopped. I think I was mad that I was stuck inside and I was telecommuting. So my past self ordered a lot of stuff. So the first thing that that showed up was my beautiful chocolate raspberry 28 count linen for the Secret Garden Secret Garden Stitching Book Club stitch. So I got my fabric. I am ready to go. So that was super fun. And then I got a phone call from Acorns and Threads that they got my order, and here is more floss And this is pretty much all for cardinal points. Because I went crazy and decided to stitch it 2/2, I needed double the floss, so there they are. So I've got to do a little floss washing like I did last time, just so it doesn't bleed. And then, remember how, I don't know if I was talking on my last floss tube, but here are flosses. This is for about 4 different projects. And I just could not believe how many flosses are missing from my floss boxes. And I think they're not missing so much as they're just scattered in other projects. So that was sure fun to get those. I mean, there's stuff in there. I'm gonna do, where did it go? Here it is. I'm gonna do the Barbara Anna light pattern, or as Michelle Bendy likes to call it, fox in a dress. So I was totally looking forward to starting that, and there's flosses in there. And then included in my order from Acorns is 32 count Belfast linen, and it's the color Dirty. And I think that is going to be just perfect for light. And then I want to do the other one that has, is it a goose with a key? I think it's a goose. Maybe it's a duck. Who knows, right? Doesn't matter. So I've got enough linen to do both of those. So I've got all the flosses that I was missing for Fox in a Dress, for the Secret Garden. What else? The goose with the key. There was something else. Something else is in here. I wrote it down so I can sort it out into the right things. And then the last thing that was in my order from Acorns is this loveliness. Look at this. This is 32 count Weeks linen, and the color is Seafoam. You guys, look at this. Look at how big this is. Look. Look, look, look. This is folded in half because this is for Harbor Haven. I finally have the fabric to start that. So every week you're probably going to have to listen to me talk about Harbor Haven for 15 months. I am thrilled that this came. I am so excited to start that, which means now I'm gonna have to sit down and bobbinate floss, because most of it, well, I think it's all charted in DMC, and I substituted 2 of the colors, and I think I did Weeks, because I didn't like, well, it's not that I didn't like, I just thought there were better colors for the water. So I switched out the 2 colors for the water for some Weeks, and once I get everything bobbinated, I will do a little floss drop reveal on the fabric so you can see how that's gonna look. I am super stoked about that. The last thing that I get to show you is I have a girlfriend at church who sings in the choir with me, and she was doing some cleanup in her house. She said she used to cross stitch all the time, but she's kind of gotten out of that and has gotten rid of almost all of her fabric. She's gotten rid of everything except for 2 charts, and she said, I'm never gonna stitch these, do you want them? And I'm like, absolutely. So she mailed these to me. Isn't that the cutest? Oh my gosh. Just my imagination. Isn't that sweet, sweet little snowman in the tree? Ah. And then the other one that she sent me, my favorite, Bent Creek. This is The Seasons by Bent Creek. I don't know when I'll get around to stitching this, but I will. I love Bent Creek. So that is my stitchy kindness. That was so fun. You guys, I have a big mess on my desk. I have trotted out haul and whips and new starts. Next week is the start of Stitch Mania. I will come back on next Tuesday and I'll show you which of the pieces I decided to start. Like I said, I don't even know yet. We'll see what strikes my fancy come Monday. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope things are going well for you. You're staying safe. We're doing the same thing around here. We're safe, we're happy, kinda. There's just not enough chocolate to get me through this doggone pandemic. Yikes. Anyway, we will see ya next week. Be careful out there and stitch happy. Okay, bye you guys.